I guess you might first of all explain your musical roots, as it were, like musicians, bands you like, ones you were influenced by.
My musical roots are very interesting. Actually, I was influenced by certain films more than music. Apocalypse Now is one of them. Clockwork Orange, you know. And I liked bits and pieces from various groups, you know. The very, very early Adam and the Ants I quite liked. And apart from that, I listened to classical music, Beethoven and Wagner. So what can you make of that then?
How do you transform the feeling or the mood of a movie into music, and does the transformation go very well?
Yeah, I work in atmospheres essentially. I see everything in terms of atmosphere. Like Killing Joke music for me is the atmosphere of the future, the new world we're moving into, and also the concerts are. Sometimes within a concert, there are moments when I feel that it is the world beyond the year 2000, possibly.
How is it you feel that way? Is it because it's something new, something you've never felt before, and therefore it's something of the future?
I feel it's that way because I don't know. It's something primal. There's something primal in our music. There's an atmosphere. It could be an atmosphere of the dim and distant past or of the future. I'm not sure which sometimes. But it's definitely the atmosphere of the world we're all moving towards. You know?
Is that a side of you that's only expressed through the music, or do you think you express it in other ways as well?
I do a lot of writing. But the music really is everything. Music is our lifestyle. Killing Joke is a reaction against all the blatant pop consumerism that the public are forced to acknowledge. We don't want to patronize our audience. You know, our music is it's of now. It's of this decade. It relates to this decade and what will follow. It's real. It's our lives. Killing Joke is 24 hours a day for the last 6 years. You know, it's a reflection of our lifestyle. It's a funny thing because we don't see ourselves as an intellectual band at all, because we're not. Our music is really anti-intellectual, if anything. It's deep emotions. Just moving emotions. There's no analysis in the music, and this is the basis we write on.
If I could move back the conversation a little bit, what did you mean by blatant pop consumerism? How would you define that term?
I mean, when you see sort of pop videos, and they've got the attractive woman, and they exploit the sexual angle, it's got lots of tinsel and glitter. When the music has plenty of cliches, and the music relies on new hairstyles and clothes and fashion and trend to promote itself. We don't have anything to do with it. Killing Joke has had nothing to do with fashion or trend in 6 years. We want people to acknowledge us by our work, right? Killing Joke is our work. It's something we love very much. It's something we dedicate our lives to. It is essentially work. We want people to appreciate our work first and foremost. It's an emotional intensity. You understand this?
Uh-huh.
And that's what we want people to see. We don't want people to sort of buy the same clothes as us or wear stupid haircuts or anything like that, because that's not us at all. So we are really alone in the music industry, I think.
You talk about like a dichotomy between, say, a manufactured image and between, like on one side you have a manufactured image, on the other side you have what you're doing, which is very, as you say, primal, straight from the hip. Do you think there's any room for peaceful coexistence, or do you think what you're doing is definitely 100% right?
Can you repeat that question?
Okay, it's like you say you're on one side of the music business, and then most of the other groups are on the other side. You say they're very, what?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, do you think there's room for both things, though, or?
Coexistence, you mean?
Yeah.
There is at the moment. At the moment. But I foresee Killing Joke as breaking massive this year in 85. We're going to break big because essentially we are a devastating live group, right? And I think people are fed up with synthesizers and fashion and trend. I think that people are, first and foremost, they want to be moved by music. They want to be moved by emotion. And we fill in that gap. Killing Joke is simply a musical summary of this decade, right? There is no other band that can fill that space. We are that band.
Have there been any bands in the past, you think, who have fulfilled similar functions?
Yeah, I think they have. I think there's been a couple, if anything. In the 60s, obviously, you have the Beatles and the Stones, you know. In the 70s, I don't know, it was a mixture of things. You had your Bowie, you had your Gary Glitter, didn't you? They summarised the sort of the style and the trend of the time. Now we're young people, I think, are in a different sort of pressures. We don't know whether we're going to survive beyond the year 2000, most of us. There are new pressures. We're living in the post-industrial residue. We're living in worlds of ugliness and machinery. The music is going to be different. There are new pressures. We live in a world where everything could break out into an absolute nightmare any day, you know. There are new pressures. The music is more intense. It's fuller. There's no solos. It's exclusively an 80s sound.
Well, do you think you're a product of that ugliness, or simply a backlash to it?
I think it's a bit of both, if anything. A reaction against it too. Love Like Blood was quite interesting. We were quite surprised that we hit the charts with Love Like Blood. I mean, and yet, funny enough, that was inspired by a Japanese author, Yukio Mishima. Both myself and Big Paul, the drummer, we are very familiar with this man's work, and we find our ideals are very much in alignment with this man's ideals, although we are of a more European culture.
I think many Japanese would find that very interesting. What attracts you to Mishima's work?
Absolute dedication. I love as an ideal. He is a man of the highest ideals. He was a man who lived by his own ideals, and that I can respect. Apart from that, he is a brilliant and outstanding writer. His ideology is simply very much in alignment with Killing Joke's ideology. We believe that man does not get what he deserves, but he gets what he resembles. Therefore, one has to embody one's ideals, and if necessary, one must die for one's ideals. There are very few young people these days with high ideals. I think Yukio Mishima is a great man.
Well, what?
Love Like Blood was inspired by a lot of experiences we were going through at that time, and our commitment to our own music, and also the fact that we're reading a lot of Mishima's work at that time.
Is there any one of his books that particularly stands out in your mind?
Yeah, it's the first of his tetralogy, which is called Spring Snow. I think this is just brilliant, absolute brilliance. I also am very fond of the samurai ethic in modern day Japan and Confessions of a Mask. Both these, I think, are just outstanding works.
Well, tell me, what are your ideologies, your ideals?
What are mine?
Yes.
What, in one sentence or two? I would not like to give any manifesto over a radio station, because that is not the way I wish to do things. But I essentially believe in pantheism. I study pantheism as a future social structure, and that is what I'm writing about in a book also. you'll have to look up in your dictionary the significance of the word pantheism.
Well,
it's a doctrine that maintains that man and universe, you do not differentiate between anything. You must find out yourself in this. I like some aspects of the early Japanese imperialism. I think there's some interesting qualities in it. I'm also attracted very much by the pre-literate civilizations. I do not think that man in his present state is at the peak of civilization by any means.
Well, do you consider pantheism to be the epitome of civilization, or what?
I think pantheism, for me, is the absolute social structure. When man is in synchronicity with nature, well, there is only one direction. It is beyond democracy. Democracy is confusion. I'm interested in one direction, and therefore I studied the great civilizations in South America, in Egypt, in places in Europe, and from this I'm formulating my own interpretation of contemporary pantheism. That is my objective. And the music of Killing Joke is also in alignment with this. I cannot tolerate any existing political structures. It is not enough to criticize any existing political structures or your environment. You must have an answer or something that will ultimately replace it, and that is the work we do with Killing Joke. Killing Joke is music that one can adapt to an inevitable future. I think there's going to be many great changes in the world in our lifetime, in many of our lifetimes. I think that there's going to be a great upheaval. I think there possibly could be nuclear war, definitely. And we must look at this straight in the face. We must not retreat into worlds of fantasy and writing music and artwork about fantasy. We must deal with reality, and that is the work of Killing Joke.
Do you think you're confronting the situation, though? I mean, I think people could point the finger at you saying that you're, just sealing yourself off in your own ivory tower, with your own beliefs. How are you confronting the problems you talk about?
Because we travel everywhere, we expose ourselves to our environment, and I think we're continually receptive to what is going down.
How about that?
Sorry, continue.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Please go on.
I was going to say that it would take somebody watching the actions of every member of the group to really answer that question. Killing Joke is our lifestyle. It's something I found 3 other musicians whose beliefs and ideology and their sense of humour is much in alignment with my own, and therefore we work together. It's really quite simple.
Okay, let's put it this way. What do you hope to convey to, say, fans when they come to see a show? What do you hope they'll go away thinking?
My task with the Killing Joke is to inspire people and to hopefully move these people, to awaken them to the potential that lies ahead. Really, I don't believe in present civilization. It is the task of a few to pioneer something different ahead. I want to move people essentially with my music, and so that they may have a better understanding and better perspective on the future, the way the world is going. That's all. Simple as that. It's not intellectual music. It's anti-intellectual music. It's something we just hope people will relate to. It's music, if you want to find the ideals in the music, you must read the lyrics. I just want to move people. That's all Killing Joke, you know?
I wonder if I could ask you a favor here. This connection seems to be getting worse with each second here. Could you give me the phone number you're at, and if possible, I'd like to call you once more, just so we can maybe get a little bit clearer connection.
Okay, it's 730-2162.
Okay, are you at any particular extension number?
Well, put you through to me, okay?
Pardon me?
Well, put you through straight to me.
Okay, I'll hang up and call once more then.
Okay.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Getting too, the noise is getting ridiculous.
Yeah. It sounds okay now, though.
Okay.
For a while there were rumors of a split up. Apparently you went off to Iceland or something?
That's right. I went to live in Iceland. I mean, I went there for a number of reasons, you know. After you sort of go from one city to the next city, and all you see is the industrial wasteland, and you're playing to an audience that don't believe they're even going to survive the next 10 years. You start thinking. So, I wanted to really isolate myself in a country that had very little industry, and there's no pollution, it's very underpopulated, so that I could study some of the things I wish to study, basically. So I went off to Iceland and stayed there for about 6-7 months, and then I came back after that and realised I wanted to form a new Killing Joke, basically.
What did the Iceland trip accomplish, do you think?
Well, it was the most important failure of my life, you know. I believe that it's in my lifetime. I think it's important to orientate myself in a country that is underpopulated still and has true progressive potential. England, there's no future in England. So it's too overpopulated. It's too overcrowded. It's not England anymore anyway. It's like Japan. It's America, really, isn't it? I'm not particularly pro-American. I will not try and hide that fact. You know. Anyway, I went over there. I also studied the mythology, the Nordic mythology, etc., which come from Iceland. And I like fishing. And there's good fishing in Iceland.
So you're pretty much settled now back in England, though.
Well, I've been living in Switzerland for a year. I don't really want to stay in England, no. I would like to move again. Maybe South America or New Zealand. But keep working, essentially, you know. Keep travelling. I don't want to stay in England, no, not at all. It's depressing here. Very depressing. You know? I don't like the decisions that are made over here by the government, and I'm sure I can find somewhere a lot more pleasing in my life, for my life.
Well, you can't escape governments or politicians no matter where you go, though.
Sure, but you can get a better deal. I prefer Switzerland to England if I have to live anywhere. I don't think about nuclear warfare all the bloody time, and I don't have to see Margaret Thatcher on the television every day. You know, it's a better place. It's more relaxed. Children are still being brought up in Switzerland with believing that the adult world is safe. You know, and this does not take place in England. You go up in the north of England. There's much poverty. You know, there's many underprivileged people. You know, it's a sad sight. I cannot see any future in this country.
Where do you come from originally?
Well, I was born in Cheltenham, and but I have Brahmin blood in me, high caste from India. But I'm 3/4 English and then 1/4 Brahmin. So I'm of a new race, if you like. We're called cosmopolitan.
Mixed blood. There's apparently talk that you're very interested in black magic, or is that a false rumor?
This is nonsense, you know. I study mythologies, and I don't even believe in black magic. Black magic is a creation of the Christian church, basically, you know. I don't even acknowledge this as a concept. I don't even believe in the devil, right? It's just absolute nonsense, you know. No, I have nothing to do with that. It's rubbish, you know. I believe in that man must be God. I believe that in the mythologies that I study, that man at one time was God, and until he sees himself as God, he will never realize his fullest potential. You know, that is a fundamental ethic of pantheism.
I mean, man is a supreme being.
Yeah, to see the meaning of life strictly in human terms. You know, that is what I intend to do.
So, in other words, ultimate reverence for human life, then.
Yeah, I should think so. And all life, basically.
What do you think about, like, these moves being made to save the people of Africa?
Well, I have to relate it down to myself, right? And I believe that charity begins at home. For the last 5.5 years, you know, I've just struggled with my friends in Kilimanjaro to keep our heads above water, you know, to be able to pioneer the new style of music that we're playing, and do what we want, and go around the world and travel and play what we want. And to do this, you know, I must be the predator. I must be the consumer. You understand what I mean? In this world, you have the predator or the prey. You understand that? The consumer or the consumed. I would rather be the former. I'd rather be the positive, alright? And therefore, I think that there will always be, it's sad, but I think there will always be atrocities and suffering in the world. And I think those people that are fortunate enough to have a healthy body and a healthy mind and an environment, it is up to them to, progress rests on their shoulders. If you think you can accomplish progress by sending corn to Ethiopia, well then that's your opinion. I don't think you can accomplish progress by this. I believe most of the money that's being sent to Ethiopia is not reaching the people that are suffering there. And in this world, the world we're moving into, it is survival of the fittest. That means that if I am weak ultimately, then I must die also. And that is the law I intend to live by. Does that answer your question?
For the most part, you talk about charity starting at home, but like, where would you start, though?
You must take care of yourself and your own people.
Who are your people?
Well, my people are my colleagues in my group, and the people around me. And we rely on each other for our own existence. It's a difficult thing to do in the 80s in England. It's a difficult thing to do for a group to live on their own music, to live on this only, especially when they play uncompromising music. It's a difficult thing to do. It's an accomplishment to actually achieve some sort of equilibrium.
Do you constantly feel difficulties in doing that?
There has been many difficulties, you know. I mean, we don't play commercial music. It's as simple as that. It's only now that we're starting to play really big places to an average audience of about 3,000 every night. We've just done a European tour, you know, and it's been sold out. We've just done 60 concerts. Can you imagine it? 60 concerts, right? And every night it's been sold out. So it's going good now, you know. But we've worked for 6 years to get to that stage. 6 years, can you believe that?
But now, instead of being one of the people struggling, you're one of the people on top, and
certainly,
and becoming an object of derision for those who are now struggling.
No, because nobody's ever helped us. We've helped ourselves. And if you're strong, you must help yourself. If you have the will to succeed, then you will succeed. And I think it's really quite as straightforward as that.
What do you think of British music journalism?
Well, put it like this. With our current album, Nighttime, we had a policy that we would talk on radio, we would use the radio, and we'd use television as useful channels of media to promote ourselves. We haven't bothered with the press at all. The press normally, they're sort of failed musicians with chips on their shoulders. And anyway, with Killing Joke, you could say we have quite a unique relationship with the British music press. Do as few interviews as possible with them. That is to say, we don't rule out all possibilities. If someone is genuinely interested in our music and what we have to say, then we will meet them on an equal basis. If they intend to really undermine us in any way, we treat them as enemies.
What do you think?
That's why we're still around after 6 years, you know. I think it's the most dangerous thing for a group to be is to be a press darling. Do you understand? Very dangerous thing for a group to be.
Do you think that
eventually, when the trend and the fashion is not in your favour, they will eat you up, right? They will destroy you. We made enemies of the press from the very beginning, and so we're still around. People listen to our music. They don't read the reviews. They listen to our music, and that's why we're still in existence.
after 6 years of struggling, why do you think the breakthrough has come now?
I don't know. I think it's just got more popular. I don't know. I can't answer that.
There must have been something that broke you, though.
Yeah, I think it probably comes down to the fact that people are curious about our music. It's a new style of music. The style of music is quite unique, and people are fascinated by it. Apart from that, everything relies on good marketing and good promotion.
In the video for Love Like Blood, a lot of paintings are shown. What are the significance of what's the significance of the paintings?
Because we in Killing Joke, while we are quite imperfect beings, imperfect specimens of humanity, we have a vision of a perfect man. We have a vision of a perfect humanity, and it's important too. We use aspects from communist China and the Soviet Union as a portrayal of their opinion of what a perfect man should be. We have our opinion also. It's very important to have a vision of perfection that you may aspire towards. Love Like Blood is this.
So what exactly are the paintings, though? I mean, whose paintings are they?
The what?
The paintings in the video.
In Love Like Blood?
Yeah.
The paintings?
Yes.
They're not paintings, those are real people.
I didn't actually see the video myself. Actually, the gentleman from the record company asked me to ask you. He said in the video there are paintings interspliced with actual stage scenes, and he was wondering what sort of paintings those were.
No, they're not paintings, they're real people. Yeah, have another look, they're real people.
Okay. I guess that answers that. Tell me, you said you've read up a lot on Mishima. Do you know anything else about Japanese culture?
Yeah, I know bits and pieces. I don't profess to know anything until I arrive there. Maybe some people can teach me many things, you know. I have a basic understanding of Japanese imperialism and some of the samurai ethics, you know. But I by no means know everything, you know.
Well, you mentioned a little while ago that Japan wasn't Japan anymore. It's like a little America. What would...
same as England. England is not England anymore. This is America also.
Well, what would lead you to believe that? I mean...
Because decisions that are made in Washington affect us directly. And ultimately, our existence depends on those decisions. That's right. In England, I love the architecture in England. I've not been to Japan yet. But but I love the architecture in it, and we are having more and more modern architecture is built for consumer purposes, just for a place that can, built on an economic foundation. That is, you can try and get as many people into one building as possible. It's not built from beauty or any inspiration. It's built out of consumers and the law of supply and demand, And this is something I hate. This is the ethics of the West, and I detest this, I'm opposed to this. Our music is radically opposed to this, We're not anything to do with what can I say? Essentially, we are a European band with European creative values and European values altogether. We have nothing to do with this. I see the same thing happen in Japan. Everything that is great, I believe that is great in Japan, is decaying. And most important, the principles and the high ideals that were once held there are dying. It's sad. This is America. This is America's thing.
What causes decay?
Greed, I believe. Greed and the sort of the Coca-Cola and Disneyland culture of the West, basically. It's destiny, but I cannot accept it.
You talk about there being big changes, or what kind of big changes do you expect or hope for?
Well, the big changes I hope for, well, I don't believe in extinction. I believe that maybe 1/20th of the world population would survive after the year 2000 if we're lucky. And life will be very, very different. We will not be drinking our beer or listening to records in those days. Life will be very different. That's what I believe. And I think it's important that people start adapting to the inevitable changes now.
Just one last thing. I'd like you, if possible, if you have anything to say to the Japanese fans, so maybe you could say it now.
Yeah, I do. I just want them to appreciate our music for what it is and the values that music stands for. I want people just to listen to our music and come and see us and talk with us. We want to talk with as many people as possible. And we want to exchange ideas, What can I say? It seems a very stupid thing to do, to talk about music when it should be listened to. And it's as simple as that. I think the one thing that inspires us, and has inspired us over the last 5-6 years, has been our audience, the dedicated followers of Killing, As individuals, they have sustained us and kept us going through our most difficult times. And we've always wanted to go to Japan. It's been a dream of ours. We kept getting the telexes sent back to London saying that Killing Joke is too anarchic to play in Japan. The music is, they thought there would be a lot of trouble. Well, now we are ready to go, and thanks to the Japanese promoters, a dream of ours will be coming true when we arrive in Tokyo, and it will be great to make many new friends.
Will you be anarchic?
No, we're not anarchists at all. We believe in government.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today, Mr. Coleman. I hope to have a chance to see your concert when you play here.
Okay, you'll be welcome as our guest.
All right, well, good luck then.
Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye.
All right.